Good afternoon. I'm standing in what was our social hall and what was our sanctuary. I'm not sure how much of it you can see because the only light that we have is the natural light coming in from the social hall windows. But the entire space is empty. It's been gutted. And so it feels like a sense of emptiness. We will fill it with your help, with your continued donations, with your continued support. We will once again, very soon, fill this space with light, with spirituality, with energy, and with vibrancy. Although today I am feeling somewhat empty, given that yesterday, as children were about to go out trick-or-treating, about to go out and to perhaps the only time of the year be able to knock on the doors of all of their neighbors without hesitation and be able to ask for something, to really engage in that Jewish value of hachnasat orchim, of welcoming guests and welcoming strangers. I feel a little empty, as I'm sure we all do, as there was a terrorist attack yesterday in New York City where 8 individuals lost their lives on a bike path that I have cycled on with my family, with my children, where we feel safe. And in those times, we can be led to want to once again hold close not only to our family, but also to close our doors and close our windows and retreat inside, and to say that we shouldn't be able to allow foreigners into our country, that we should begin to be suspicious of guests and of outsiders and of immigrants. I want to caution us against this, thinking about this week's Torah portion, where it begins with Abraham sitting in his tent, looking out and scanning the horizon, as the rabbis teach us, looking for travelers, for guests. And he sees 3 guests, and he runs to them, and he invites them into his tent. And he and his wife Sarah, they feed these guests who turn out to be angels, to be messengers of God, coming with a news report that in a year's time, Sarah at age 90 and Abraham at age 99 will give birth to a son, will give birth to Isaac. And they name him Isaac Yitzchak, which means laughter, because they bring laughter and joy to his life. I share that with us because from that scene, we learn the Jewish value of being open and welcoming to strangers, as we as a Jewish community should always do. We know what it is like to be the immigrant. We know what it is like to be shut outside where borders were closed to us. That's why, again, I'm so proud that this congregation partnered with Highest to welcome in an immigrant family, an Afghani family, into our community. And I share this bit of Torah with you in contrast to another scene later in the Torah portion where we meet the citizens of Sodom, that city that is ultimately destroyed. And one of the reasons we are taught it is destroyed is because they were so suspicious of strangers. They were so suspicious of immigrants. The Midrash goes on time and time again, tale after tale, telling you how horrible they were to strangers. For example, they say if a stranger came and the individual was too short for a bed, they would literally stretch his body to fit the bed. And so too, if his feet hung over the edge of the bed, well, you can imagine what they would do to his feet. And so our Torah reminds us that we have to build open tents, to be welcoming to everybody, to welcome the stranger into our midst. Yes, to always be on guard, to always be aware of those who want to cause us harm and damage, but at the same time, not to go down that path where we begin to think narrowly. Here at Community Synagogue, we're dreaming constantly of what we can do. We're dreaming of what this space can be and what it will fill and how it will once again be filled with our voices and our spirit, just as we continue to dream of how we can program this year outside of this congregation, as we've been meeting in people's homes and wine shops and restaurants, and of course worshiping each week in the chapel at Rabbi Presbyterian Church. So again, this week our hearts are heavy. Our thoughts and prayers are with those families who lost their lives and those individuals who are injured as terrorism has once again come to our country and to our city, to the place that we call home. But we should never, ever let that deter us from who we need to be and the kind of lives that we need to live. Wishing you an early Shabbat Shalom, a Sabbath of peace and wholeness.